Okay. So welcome everybody. A warm welcome to all of you who could join. Welcome to this webinar co-sponsored by Project Starfish and AbilityLinks.org. We are so excited to have professionals from Booz Allen talk about diversity recruitment and contemporary job opportunities in the STEM field. We are also equally excited to have you interact with them to find out possibilities in store for you. So let's look at the agenda for the next 60 minutes. So we have a packed agenda, everybody, and as you realize that this webinar is going to be recorded, so the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to be introducing everybody to the panelists of today. Ken is going to be talking about AbilityLinks. I'm going to talk about Project Starfish, and then we are going to transition over to Booz Allen professionals, Chanel and Emily, to take this away and talk about the different jobs and the opportunities and the diversity strategy that they have for you. And then we're going to end with Q&A, and the Q&A is going to be moderated by AbilityLinks, that is Ken, and after that we're going to be concluding. So, is it possible that we can introduce the panelists of today? Ken, would you be able to introduce yourself?
Sure. Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Ken Skord. I'm the program director for AbilityLinks. My background is as a rehabilitation counselor many years. And I have been managing the AbilityLinks program for about 15 years, and I'm very, very happy to participate in the panel.
Fantastic, Ken. Is it okay that I can now introduce Emily from Booz Allen?
Thank you, Sue. Hi, this is Emily Sylling. I am with Booz Allen Hamilton, and I am on our diversity and inclusion team. I'm a program manager for our disability and our LGBT diversity programs.
Wonderful. Chanel?
Hi, everyone. I'm Chanel Hunt. I've been at Booz for about 2 years. I'm the diversity and inclusion sourcing specialist for Booz Allen's civil and commercial market. My primary role is to develop strategy around recruiting individuals with disabilities and veterans.
Awesome, Chanel. And myself, my name is Subhashish Acharya. I go by Subs, and I'm going to be the moderator today. I'm the founder of Project Starfish, and I serve as a chief mentor to professionals who are looking for opportunities. So, Ken, would you like to spend a couple of minutes to talk about what AbilityLinks is and what you do and what your role is? And are you still there?
Yes, I'm there. Okay, so AbilityLinks is a online employment community, and what that means is that it's a way for individuals that are seeking employment that identify having a disability can make themselves known to businesses. And the way that process works is through the website and through what we call our human touch. Using our website, you can post a resume, and you can also apply for jobs. Using our website, businesses can search the resumes that individuals post and also post their job opportunities. Our counselors, we have Janice Duvall and Bill O'Connor, are information and referral counselors for AbilityLinks, and they provide what we call the human touch. We have the option when you are on our website, you can chat with us during business hours. You can also call us using the telephone, or you can email. We're located in Wheaton, Illinois, so if you're local to that area, although the website is a national tool, if you're local, you can make an appointment and come in. So what we provide is job search consultation, via those channels I mentioned. And when we have positions that we think you may match to, we make an effort to let you know. We have a number of volunteers who are in the business community with a background in outplacement counseling and that sort of thing. So occasionally we'll set people up with resume consultations. We also do them ourselves, and mock interviews and that sort of business. Just to say, there's no fees to use the site for either job seekers or employers. It was started by Marion Joy Rehabilitation Hospital, which is located in the Midwest, as an initiative to see more people with disabilities find employment. It's open to anyone with a disability, not just people that undergo physical rehab, visible, invisible disabilities, anyone that wants to choose to disclose. But it's purely an advocacy initiative of the hospital, because from the hospital's point of view, so many people go through a rehabilitation process or become disabled, during their life, if they're not disabled in childhood. And they often, too often, even with the laws that have been passed, end up without employment. So our mission is purely to see more people get matched to jobs, collect as many resumes as possible so businesses have choices of candidates.
Thank you very much, Ken. So I'll take this over, and for folks who just joined or who are already on the phone listening to this webinar, guys, my name is Subs, and I'm the founder of Project Starfish, and as you realize that I also act as the chief mentor of the organization. Think of Project Starfish as a visionary, intellectual, creative, and contemporary training program and a platform for professionals with disabilities, veterans, and even select students who want to get back to the workforce. So Project Starfish creates new skills or sharpens your skills to align with the industry. It helps you grow the work experience. It connects you with businesses and business professionals, and that results in work opportunities. So we started Project Starfish 3 years back because we wanted to solve the unemployment challenges that our society faces today, specifically with professionals with disabilities. There are many challenges, but then I think the best way to solve today's lack of opportunities is by creating contemporary skills, creating new work experience that is industry aligned, and by creating inclusiveness between businesses and networking with them. The Project Starfish model actually focuses on all three and results in work opportunities. The best way to think of a model is to think of it like a flight simulator. So think of Project Starfish training like a flight simulator game. What do? You learn by doing. You grow a new set of experience through real work, real business inclusion. You yourself learn how to take the flight off the ground. So we are 100% virtual. We work with teams across multiple cultures, multiple countries, and we are beyond race, religion, color, gender, social or economic status, disability, etc. That's beyond any perception problems, right? This helps us focus 100% on creating business value that solves social problems. So we quickly talk about the details of Project Starfish, which is, think of Project Starfish as the workforce development model and platform, where you learn from the best. You work on real short-term projects with several small businesses to learn multiple skills depending upon who you are and what you want to be. As you acquire that experience, as you grow, you can then start working with corporate businesses and get back to the workforce. And what we have done is we have created ecosystems, which means we achieve this by creating synergy, and that results in a tight ecosystem between businesses and the resources they need to execute. So let's talk about a little bit of the results, right, over the last couple of years. The Project Starfish model has transformed professionals like Ben to become professional recruiters, or we have transformed highly educated students like Anil and Amanda Berkeley to be consultants and project managers, or Rose Wagon to work at Xerox and now she works at Apple, or give somebody else a completely different chance altogether, like Amanda Heel in Australia, who has become a John Maxwell coach. So as you realize that workforce development using a different model creates contemporary employment and equal employment. So starting from working with companies in the big data field, like Xperfy at Harvard Innovation Lab, or IT companies like XViews, or companies in Australia, or strategy companies like BPI, or makerspaces, or cloud companies, or supply chain companies in India, for example, you can realize that we are creating equal opportunity, equal employment, and contemporary employment. If anybody needs to talk with us, just contact Nazreen. She can be reached at hr@pstarfish.org. Our phone number is 781-562-0520. Now let's find out the opportunities in store for you from Booz Allen today. Let's welcome Emily and Chanel.
Thanks very much, Subs. So what we're going to talk about today is an overview of Booz Allen Hamilton. We'll share with you a little bit about our culture, and then we will talk about some of the open positions that we have right now and the procedures to apply for those roles. So Subs, if you can proceed to the next slide. 2 more. Perfect. So Booz Allen Hamilton was established in 1914, and we have been at the forefront of strategy and technology consulting. Our vision is to be the absolute best technology and consulting firm for our clients, and we do that by partnering closely with them to understand their needs, to solve their problems, and to stand side by side and deliver results that will endure in the future. A little bit around our statistics. So at the end of 2014, we had an overall revenue of $5.48 billion, and we have actually a worldwide footprint. As you can see there, we have a number of offices in 34 states. As well, we have offices overseas in Europe and Asia. And we have more than 22,000 professionals that work for us and call us their employer of choice. So Subs, on the next slide, we'll talk a little bit about what differentiates Booz Allen. So you can see there, we are driven by 10 what we call core values. They drive how we do business. They drive how we develop our training and our awards programs for our staff. They drive our involvement and our support to the community around us through our community relations activities. They drive the policies that support our people through benefits and career development, as well as our assessments. And so you can see there's some examples of our total rewards program. We have robust compensation packages and comprehensive benefits that help all of our staff achieve work-life balance and deliver the best work that they can. So we have health, life, and disability benefits, as well as profit-sharing programs through our employee stock purchase plan. As I mentioned, we also have work-life and recognition and rewards programs. On the next slide, we'll continue to talk a little bit about what differentiates us. And one of those things is career development. And it's a shared commitment between our employees and between the firm. We provide many different opportunities to help people learn new skills, beef up their existing skills, and continue to develop. And we provide that through things like tuition assistance, paid memberships. We have a number of partnerships with universities and other programs that provide internal courses, that provide reduced tuition, and that provide, as you can see there, 2,500 online self-paced courses. As well, we have a number of external partnership-driven technical training programs and certifications. Subes, on the next slide, we will talk a little bit about how Booz Allen's diversity and inclusion framework supports our staff and creates an inclusive work environment. So I'll start at the bottom of this slide and move up. Our framework is focused on how staff experience the firm. We want to create a diverse workforce, and we want to promote the advancement of diverse staff to drive better results. We want to establish and maintain an inclusive workplace that allows staff to be themselves and deliver their best possible work. We help our leaders demonstrate inclusive leadership behaviors that further drive our innovative culture. And we work together with partners in our marketplace to forge relationships and partnerships to help folks or to support the communities around us, I should say. And we do that in two ways. At the top of the firm, we have what are called diversity agendas. Those are teams of leaders designed to create strategy and implement diversity and inclusion efforts that ensure that our results endure. And you can see that we have 5 for a number of different groups at the firm. We also have employee-driven volunteer resource groups, which we call forums. They connect people together, they contribute to our community outreach efforts as well, and they deliver professional development opportunities for their members. And you can see that we have 12. As well, we have over 30 chapters in a number of our offices across the globe. So on the next slide, we will talk a little bit about, We'll talk a little bit about Booz Allen's support to the disability community. Subes, if you could advance the slide.
Sure.
Thank you. Our history of disability inclusion dates to 1998, when we established a task force to study opportunities for improvement. At that point, we stood up our employee resource group, the Diversity Forum. We created our centralized accommodations program, and we embarked on a number of different activities to focus on things like hiring interns, developing our staff, and supporting the community around us. More recently, you can see that we've been very, very honored to receive recognition from Careers in the Disabled magazine for being amongst their top list of employers. And we've also been very privileged to receive a top score on the Disability Equality Index, as well as individual recognition for some of our staff members. On the next slide, we'll just briefly look at, again, some of the recognition that we've been very, very privileged to receive. There are some small pictures of our leaders and staff receiving awards. In the top, we have our chairman of the board, Ralph W. Schrader, receiving an award from Elizabeth Dole. And in the lower picture, in the middle, we have a staff member, Associate Eric Wright, receiving an award from Careers in the Disabled magazine for being one of their Employees of the Year. On the next slide, we will just briefly touch on some of our partnerships, and then I will transition to Chanel, who will talk a little bit about the open positions that we have. So I mentioned that we work with our partners in the marketplace, And some of our key diversity partnerships are the U.S. Business Leadership Network, as well as the National Business and Disability Council, the Viscardi Center. We also have several great community partnerships that we work with, and you can see some pictures there depicting our activities. So we have some staff diving into the water for Special Olympics polar plunge. We also have a picture of folks gathered at Dulles Airport last year to participate in their plane pull activities. We are very privileged to partner with an organization that is local here in the Washington, D.C. area, Mount Vernon Lee Enterprises. And lastly, on the far right, we have a picture of our staff supporting the Paralyzed Veterans of America Games as well. So at this point, I will hand it over to Chanel, who will talk to you about some of our open positions and how you can apply.
I'm going to actually hand it over to Subes. There are lists of hot jobs that we have. Subes can go over a few and be able to explain them in detail.
Absolutely. Now, Chanel, what I understand is that you have a careers website. Would you be able to quickly tell us what that website would be, if you don't mind, and I'll take people through a couple of these jobs as well.
Absolutely. So for a listing of all of our open opportunities, you can go to careers.boozallen.com, and we'll reference that website a few times throughout the rest of the presentation. So, and you'll see it up on the screen as well.
Awesome. And Chanel, what I see on the screen, these are jobs that are open. Is that right?
That's correct.
Awesome. So, so for folks who are listening to this webinar, you can see that there are different opportunities available for a different set of people. So, for example, if you're really good with writing, for example, you can actually apply as a copy editor. Some people like to write technology, so they can choose to be a technical writer, and they'll be able to take the code on the left, for example, and apply on the careers.boozallen.com website. There are other positions that are also available. For example, if you are strong with respect to Windows desktop technology, there are consultants who are also needed in that particular field. So the reason we want to get into the details of the jobs is for two reasons. One is to let everybody know that there is a complete gamut of jobs that are available for different skills, different people. And the second is understanding the different jobs that are being announced. Perhaps you could do a different course and sharpen your skills so you could also apply to positions like this in the future. So let us look at the next couple of jobs. These jobs are mostly in the field of analysis, or we call them analyst jobs. So for example, think of a company managing a lot of projects. Now, which projects are important? Which is not important? Which one is going to take more time? Which is going to cost more money? That is exactly what a project analyst does. Now, if you are somebody with a financial background and you're really good with understanding patterns of data, for example, you could be a financial intelligence analyst at Booz Allen. Some of these jobs may not even apply to you. So perhaps you could refer somebody. You can call somebody or email somebody and explain that these are the hot jobs from Booz Allen, and they are looking for people like you from the area of diversity. Many people, as you know, that security is very important. So perhaps you would like to take a quick look at what a security analyst position is. So there are many analyst positions that are available, There are research positions that are available. What you have to do is go to careers.boozallen.com and then choose the different jobs and apply for that position. Sometimes you may also mention this webinar so people kind of know that you saw these jobs on this webinar to understand how the diversity recruitment program is going as well. We will talk about a slightly more different kind of jobs, which is system administrators or desktop support analysts, for example, or malware analysts. These are jobs which are being announced because companies are also announcing a move to the cloud, which also creates a huge requirement for system admins and desktop professionals. Now, as you realize on this particular slide, this slide is typically for technical people. So for example, if you are working on different systems, as you realize that applications have production systems, dev and test environments, right? So there are analysts who actually get into the picture after the application has been built to kind of test how these applications are doing. DevOps is a very new field for today. So for example, if you are good with coding and you are looking for process automation, for example, or integrate code and operations, DevOps is a phenomenal career that's coming up. So for example, you can learn about Chef, Puppet, and all that, and these courses are being announced everywhere. So you could probably fine-tune your skills to be a DevOps engineer and apply for these positions. There are several positions for being a technical architect. So architects, as you know, manage massive architecture, IT architecture, and you could be part of that architecture team. Or you probably have coding skills on Java, so you could apply as a Java developer as well. The last slide that we want to talk about are very cutting edge. And just to let you know that we actually received many of your resumes, and it was just wonderful to see such amazing ability in people. So for example, we did find somebody who was very interested in data science. So Hadoop, for example, is a very new field of distributed processing, which means that if you have a background in distributed processing, you could probably apply as a Hadoop developer. If you have the idea of databases or data lakes, for example, you could be an ETL engineer working on these cutting-edge ETL technologies that are being used by big data scientists of today. Data science, as you know, is the art of creating algorithms, making data simple, visualizing that data, taking the patterns, and then bringing beauty to all the data so you can take decisions. Companies are heavily investing into it, and data scientists are critical positions. So if you have that degree in, say, math, for example, or you have a degree in data science, for example, definitely apply to Booz Allen through their website, careers.boozallen.com. And if you have friends or family who would be interested, pass on that information. It can help somebody else. Business intelligence is also coming up in a big way, and so is big data. Over to you, Chanel, for any other details that you may have.
Thanks, Stu. So here on the slide is just a list of other jobs that we have. This is really just a snapshot. We have so many positions and they're updated daily. So continue to check careers.boozallen.com for any updates, and I will get into how to apply for these positions on the website.
Awesome, Chanel. So is it possible that, Chanel, you'll be able to give our audience today, like, what you actually do, how can you help them, what are the accommodations that you can help with?
Absolutely. So just to touch on some of the points that Emily discussed earlier, because I want to really talk about why Booz Allen is such a great place to work. Our culture really sets us apart from other companies. The core values that she discussed earlier are really embedded in everything that we do. So diversity, integrity, respect, fairness, excellence. They really drive everything that Booz Allen does. In addition, the programs that promote work-life balance are second to none. Health, life, disability benefits, the forums and agendas that we discussed, these are all things that set us apart from other companies and really promote inclusion in the workplace and makes Booz Allen just one of the best places to work, especially for diverse candidates, right? So if you did see any jobs that you were interested in, or if you want to check out the website and you are interested in working for Booz Allen, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to apply online, and then I will give you my personal email address so you can send me your resumes if you feel like you do qualify for any of these positions. So the first thing is, Emily touched on this a little bit, Booz Allen does have an accommodations team. So if you go to careers.boozallen.com and for some reason you're not able to apply online, and you need an accommodation in order to do so, we have a team that can assist you, and they can assist you not only during the application process, but any part of the recruitment or hiring process. So if you need an accommodation for the interview, or you need an accommodation after you begin work, at any point you can call this team, tell them what you need, and they'll work with you to get you through, okay? As far as applying, we mentioned the website before. It's careers.boozallen.com. What you do is, Sue's on the other slides showed you all the job codes and job titles there. You go through, you find a position, you can use our search tool to find a position that best fits your skill sets and interests. And this is important because over 10,000 people apply to Booz Allen each month. So the competition is very stiff. What we want to do is give you the best chance at getting a position. So in order to do that, you need to find a position where you meet every single basic qualification. Without meeting the basic qualification, you will not be considered for that position. So once you find a job where you meet every single basic qualification, you can apply directly to the website, or you can send your resume to me directly at hunt_chanel@ne.bah.com. And all you have to do is send me your resume, send me the job title, and send me the job code directly, and I will respond to you. And if I also, we'll discuss it. If I think it's a good position, then we'll go ahead and try to get you submitted for it. I'll speak with the recruiter. We'll try to put you in for an interview for it. If I don't think it's a good fit, I will discuss with you why, right? And we'll continue looking for other things. So just so you know, the types of positions that I in particular am looking for within the civil and commercial market, our most prevalent needs are in the STEM field, so science, technology, engineering, and math positions. A few of the positions that Sue's listed as well. Those are our high priorities, but we do have positions in any field. You just have to find the right one, find the right job code and job title that fits your skill sets. So the type of candidates that I'm looking for in particular for most of the positions, so this will give you the best chance at fitting most of the jobs. If you're clearable, that means that you're a U.S. citizen, you're over the age of 18 and no criminal history. That means you're able to get a security clearance up to the top secret level. That's really important. We do have some positions that don't require you to be clearable, but I would say 90% of the positions require you to be clearable. 3 or more years of experience in a given field. We do have entry-level positions, we have internship positions, but the positions that I have most influence over are those kind of mid to senior level positions, so 3 or more years of experience. If you have a minimum of a bachelor's degree, not all positions require a degree, but I would say 85 to 90% of the positions that I have influence over require a bachelor's degree or more. And flexibility in work locations. We have offices in 34 states, and we have offices overseas as well. The positions that I have highest influence over are in the Washington, D.C. metro area, and that's because I'm near the recruiters here, and this is where I can touch them and I can speak with them and I can get people in for interviews in this area. That's not to say that we cannot get you jobs other places, especially if you meet those basic qualifications. And then, so if you do find a position, if you don't find a position that you fits your skill sets and your interests, what can you do? You can continue checking the website for one, but more importantly, what you can do is build a profile on our website. So recruiters will be searching our database, trying to find candidates that meet the skill sets that they're looking for. So even if you did not find a position that may be a good fit, maybe a recruiter saw your resume and thinks that's a good fit as well for their opening, and they'll contact you that way. So even if you don't apply, you're able to build a profile, put your resume in the database, and be considered for any and all positions that may come available. Okay. And next slide.
Chanel, is it okay that I can ask you a quick question? Question number one is, like, when you say to create a profile, you know, can you explain to the audience what a profile would be and what you basically what can you look at when you look at it, what do you see in that profile, so people are kind of aware, you know, how thoroughly they need to create a profile for you?
Sure. So you go on our website, careers.boozallen.com, and it's almost like applying to a general requisition, right? It's not a specific job that's open, but you can submit your resume, you can submit your email address, your phone number, all your demographic information, and it'll be stored in the system under a username and password that you choose. So you can always get into it. If you can go to your profile and add positions to it that come available that you think is a good fit. You can alter your profile. That's your profile. You have your username and password, and you can get in at any time. You can update your resume as well, which we do encourage.
Fantastic. And Chanel and Emily, if you can take a little bit of time to kind of, you know, walk people, although you folks did talk about it. If you can explain to people, let's say they are selected, what happens after that? How does the whole process move towards the job selection? Would you be able to spend a little bit of time on that, if you don't mind?
So if you are selected for a position, if someone does think you're a good fit, one of our recruiters, they will contact you. We'll set up an interview. This interview can either be a phone interview or an in-person interview. After that, if you are selected, you will move forward to potentially a second interview, but most often not. Most often they will make you an offer. And then it's up to you if you would like to accept that offer and start that position, or if you'd like to decline it.
Awesome. So Chanel, I just went to the next page.
Perfect. So how to stay in contact with Booz Allen. One of the things that I found to work really well is following us on social media. So we have a Facebook page, LinkedIn page. On these pages, we update events, things that we're doing. It's a way to stay connected, stay engaged. the people running these websites, typically recruiters will go to these websites and find candidates there. You can ask questions about different positions here. So that's one of the best ways to stay engaged. And again, just visiting the website careers.boozallen.com regularly.
Which also means that you can tell your friends, refer other people to careers.boozallen.com, use LinkedIn, Facebook to kind of be in touch and know the different jobs that are being announced. So going over to Q&A, Ken, if you don't mind, you're in charge of, you probably can see the chats, or how do we start the Q&A session? We have got 15 more minutes, which is exactly the time that we kept for the audience to interact with Chanel and Emily. So can you help us, Ken?
Well, what I would suggest is that if you're in the audience and you would like to ask a question, that you raise your hand or you type your question into the text box that you have on your control panel. There were a few questions during the previously that I answered individually, but now is a time for you to either type your question or raise your hand, and we will try to unmute you so that you can ask.
Sure. So again.
Okay, I've got one here.
Okay.
I've got a few. Hands are going up. So what I'll do, subs, is just hopefully these are current. They could be. Carol, Southern, are you there?
Yes, hi.
Hi. So go ahead and ask your question to the panel.
Okay, I'm really interested in a job that I saw on the website. It's Information Management Specialist, and it's in Chicago. I believe that I would be a very good fit and an asset to Booz Allen. I did submit my resume to HR as it was suggested in an email that I received from AbilityLinks. Should I also submit it to Chanel at the website, her personal website?
Hi, Carol.
Hi.
Absolutely. Directly to me. And also, don't forget to put the job code and the job title in the email with your resume.
Okay, got it. So would I also submit it through the website and do the profile and all that too?
Yes, you can do that as well.
Okay, got it. Will do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Carol. And let's see here. Any more hands are up? Okay. Well, here's a question. I think I know the answer, but are there any positions that can be work from home jobs? This is from Douglas Gordon.
So yes, there are some. Obviously not the majority, but again, it's just a matter of finding that position that fits your skill set. And I think it would mention that it's virtual on the BQs as well, or in the job description.
Okay. So there's the answer there, Douglas. I have a question. I guess it's a statement from Mohammed Abi. I applied for Arabic linguist. So I guess he's just wanting you to know that.
Okay. All right. You can also send me your resume with the job code and job title just as a follow-up, and I will see what I can do on my end as well.
Okay. All right. We'll consider that answered. Let's see what else we have here.
Ken, I don't
maybe you
see a
can
lot of
go
questions
this again a little. We have a question from Sue Martini. I tried looking up job ID on the slide deck and was unable to see them on Booz Allen's site. So maybe you could explain that a little bit more for Sue.
The job might have closed. Since we put these slides up, the job's open and close very quickly, so it's really important to monitor the site very often.
Okay. And there's another question about virtual positions, which we answered. Going through here, and I think maybe, well, this is just a couple minutes ago. So Rich Davis is asking, could you describe the interview process?
Sure. So this is Emily. And generally, as Chanel described, the process will start with an outreach from a recruiter. It might be an email or a phone call to chat a little bit about your fit to the basic qualification, your interest in the role, your location, other details about your professional experience. And as Chanel mentioned, at that point, if there's a match between what the team is looking for and the conversation that you've had with the recruiter, you would have the opportunity to move forward with an in-person interview. And from that point, you enter into, if the team decides to move forward, enter into negotiations and hopefully then the offer stage of the process. In terms of the types of questions that are asked during an interview, certainly, questions about your background, your experience, potentially some scenario-based questions, some questions around things that you have done in your career that went really well, that you've learned from, as well as things that maybe, went a different way than you had hoped and what you were able to take away. So giving us a sense of kind of your consulting approach and your skills in that area as well. Hopefully that answers. If not, we'd be able to chat a little bit more or maybe exchange emails and provide some more detail to make sure that we can answer the question.
Okay, and then we've got from Louis Molnair, it's just a sort of a general job application coaching question. Are there particular keywords we should make sure to include in, I assume, in the resume or in a application email letter, something like that?
This is Chanel, and absolutely. So what you want to do as often as you can when you apply is tailor your resume to the position. So like we discussed, the basic qualifications are extremely important. What you want to do is have the same words that are in those basic qualifications in your resume so that when a recruiter sees it, these same words jump out at them and you seem like an exact match because that's what you're going for. So to answer your question, yes, keywords from the basic qualifications should always be in your resume when you submit for a particular position.
Okay. Do we have any more? I think I've gotten through all of them. If you have any more, now is the time.
Let's give everybody like 30 more seconds.
Oh, here we got a new one. Nadine Walker-Mooney, does Booz Allen help with relocation cost for new hires?
This is Chanel again. It depends on the position. So that would be a part of your negotiation during the offer stage.
Okay. All right, we've got, I'd say, it looks like two more. On the website, can a candidate set up an alert when an opening comes up with certain keywords? From Seth Dibble.
Yes, I believe you can. Yes, it'll send all the jobs, send similar jobs to what you're looking for.
Okay, and this is kind of a good question, I think. Cheryl Eklund, can people shadow people at Booz Allen to gain work experience?
This is Emily. We certainly have done that in the past, and we do, for example, host an annual Disability Mentoring Day. event, which does provide an opportunity to shadow somebody at Booz Allen for a couple of hours. So that is actually in person in the DC area, but certainly we are always excited to expand our activities to other offices. So if I could suggest maybe shooting Chanel an email and letting us know what you're interested in, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay. And Michael Haggard is asking, it seems that you are mostly focused on recruiting for STEM careers. What would some good entry-level, early-level career opportunities be for somebody with a good or with a business degree?
So this is Emily. We have a number of different opportunities, kind of more in the management consulting space. We have, and I'm thinking of the opportunities that we have kind of in our civil finance areas with agencies like the IRS or Treasury. So we do look for general business backgrounds. We look for management consulting backgrounds as well. What I would do is again refer you to do a keyword search on careers.boozallen.com and look for some of those keywords to see if there's something that's a great fit for you.
Okay, and are there positions for senior level and change of career candidates? Rich Davis.
Absolutely. There are positions for everyone, so many different fields, different seniority levels, but many, many senior level positions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Cheryl Acklin is asking, what can a person with a degree but no work experience do to get their foot in the door at Booz Allen?
So I would say look at some of the positions that ask for 1 to 2 years of work experience, and it's all about translating your skills in the right way and writing to the basic qualifications when you customize your resume. And sorry, I'm pausing here to think about the rest of the sentence, but I would say, look for those positions where you think that, the totality of your academic experience would help you meet some of those basic qualifications and where you see yourself reflected in the role description. Chanel, would you add anything?
Yeah, we have a very robust university recruiting program as well, so they are looking for people, recent college grads who have those degrees and no work experience. We have lots of positions, entry-level positions for them. Even if you're not a recent college grad, I would think you could compete in that space as well.
Okay. Here is a question from Alejandro Balderas. What is the typical time frame from application to hire?
So that varies, but I've seen it go extremely, extremely fast, like 3-4 days, and I've seen it take a month. So it's just such a wide range. Typically in my time here, I've seen it go more quickly than not, especially compared to the other companies I've been at. They are very eager to make hiring decisions. So I would say, on average, what I've seen is about 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks.
Okay. So we've got a question here about accessibility. I wanted to let folks know from my end that we will publish a recording of the webinar, and we'll have a transcript, or we'll have that subtitled, so that will be made accessible in that fashion. Sarah Capatillo is asking, is the application process at Booz Allen, is it accessible in terms of screen reader?
Yes, and as we mentioned before, if you do encounter any difficulties, please reach out to our disability accommodations team, who can make sure that the process works for you.
Okay. And maybe you wanted to, I think you mentioned it, but did you want to, how does a person do that?
Oh, yes, forgive me. We have an email address. It's disability-accommodations@bah.com. There is also a phone number, and it is area code 703-377-0350.
Okay. So here's one more. Oh, go ahead, Sue.
Nearly end. I think we have nearly reached the end.
We got one more. I think it might be from a Project Starfish member. It says, will Booz Allen, does it have any plans or contemplating or discussing the possibility of the Starfish team getting some project work? That's from Nadine Walker-Mooney.
I think that question is not relevant right now. And so I don't think that is the right question to kind of answer, but maybe we can take it up later.
Okay. All right. I think we got through all of them.
Oh, okay. So I think what we're going to do right now is I think this was a very good session. We kind of definitely completed our whole agenda right on time, right on dot. Emily and Chanel, how you folks feeling?
It was good. It was really good. I look forward to receiving some resumes.
Yep, thank you for the opportunity to participate, Sue.
Absolutely, and thank you, Ken, for helping us so much, and thanks to the Project Starfish team for making this happen as well.
Well, thank you, Subs, for putting the slides in order, and Emily and Chanel for your openness and for the the expressed commitment and demonstrated commitment to including applicants with disabilities. And on behalf of AbilityLinks, we were glad to be able to host this on our platform. We'll be very, very happy to get a recording of it with accessible features on our site. So thanks to all of you.
So again, thank you very much, and thanks for joining, everybody. Chanel, Emily, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll be able to see you again very soon.
Thank you.